You can pay. That'll be with the .wordpress.com URL, so it could be Newport Style File, .wordpress.com, or you could upgrade. I do upgrade, and it's under $20 a year just to have NewportStyleFile.com, or if your own .com, it's only about 20 bucks. There's also thousands of customizations and plugins, and you don't have to be an IT genius to figure out some of the things that you can add on there. You can integrate your social media, you can put badges out there, there's spaces for advertising, email newsletter sign up, there's countless things you can do to customize it. And the plugins are all very user-friendly, so you can just go behind the wall, put it in, they have the code. And one of the greatest things about WordPress is that there's so many tutorials out there that if there's something you don't know how to do or how to add, you can generally find it with just a really quick search. There's actually giant forums and WordPress masters. Blogger is also a very popular platform. It's easy to use. It's powered by Google, which is really great if you're a Google Plus fan. It can be customized very easily. It's great with FeedBurner for RSS distribution. So I can't speak to it by using it, but I know that people have been very happy with Blogger. It's usually one of the two major platforms that are the most user-friendly. This is a recent blog post that I did. Again, I went with WordPress. This is a customized header, it's called. So I have my design up front. It has detailed analytics, which I find very helpful. I can go behind the wall, see how many unique users I have, how many visitors. I can find out the search engine terms that people looked, how they landed on my page. There's, plenty of online info to troubleshoot. So the photos being really wonky, if the text is wrapping strange, if I want to make little tweaks and changes and I can't figure it out just by poking around, I can usually find how to do so online. Plugins like social media feeds, I have on the sidebar over here, and sharing is very simple. So you can share directly. You can see there's a part on the far right side, left side, that you can share directly. Under the post you can share it. I can get the URL very quickly and put that on the compatible Facebook page. It's very simple, and frankly, if I can do it, I know you can do it. So the style. The style of your blog should reflect your brand at all times, even if your brand is just getting started, even if it's just your voice. But if you're whimsical, you might want to think about having a customized header. If you like modern and contemporary feels, I mean, look around the space you live in. What is it like? Is it contemporary? Is it coastal? Is it just funky? Is it mod? Kind of can reflect your taste. Templates are out there, and it might be a good place to start as you're launching a blog. There's so many. You can usually find something that's a very good fit, but if anyone has ever used like a Vistaprint, they are limited. So you might see popular designs more and more, and you kind of want to separate yourself from the pack. And also, your header is going to be your first impression, so you want to give a lot of thought to it. Integrate your logo if you have one. As you saw with Lift Service, Diane von Furstenberg can have a separate name and a separate logo, and with Betsy's Bubble. So it's really an offshoot from her foundation. Contract an artist or illustrator. This is a really great way to make sure you have something really original and fresh. And right now in college, of course, you can probably do a great barter and exchange, so you don't have to pay anybody, which is always good. I think I paid something under $100, maybe 50 bucks. Somewhere between 50 and 100, and was a first-time designer. So we just worked together. I kind of gave her an idea. I knew I wanted something that was illustrated and appealing and very feminine, but I also knew I didn't want something too exaggerated. So we came up with a design that was a good vision between the two of us. You can even create a Craigslist posting. I mean, right now we're in one of the most creative areas in New England. So you can put a Providence Craigslist looking for an illustrator. You can put your flat fee. Maybe it's $25. Maybe it's exchanged for text, or if they need some sort of consulting, resume consulting. If you're an English major, think about your skill set. What can you leverage? Maybe you can proofread someone's resume. Maybe you can review some sort of the paper that you're working on. There's usually an opportunity to do some bartering. And you can, of course, always put a Craigslist posting elsewhere. For some bloggers I know, we concentrate on areas that we know there's great schools. So MICA, great place if you Baltimore, Chicago. Typically, if you put your fee out there and you're very upfront, transparent about what you're looking for and what you're willing to pay, you'll find somebody that'll be willing to work with you. And Etsy, it's a great place to find emerging designers. You can do illustrations, they can integrate hard copy images that you like. Like I put a period and painting work on $10 to $200. Sometimes they usually come with a package, so what you're getting, maybe it's just a design, maybe it includes a design and 3 revisions. Maybe it includes just the header, or you want to get into letterhead, business cards, think about down the pike, maybe how you'll be using it. And creating content. So this is a little bit tricky. This is where you might want to, again, consider your skill set. What do you enjoy doing? You don't really want your blog to be laborious. You don't want it to be something that you're dreading to do on a Monday. Make it something that you enjoy. So if it's just about doing photos and captions and what inspires you, think about how that would translate onto the page. Is that something that you can make stretch once a week or maybe twice a week? One thing that I find very helpful, and I am not the most organized person in the world, but is to build an editorial calendar. So just a basic calendar and some things that you want to include on specific days, so that way you're not getting to a point where you sit down in front of the laptop and say, what am I going to write about today? There's nothing worse than that. That's not really a inspired post, and people will be able to read right through that. So put together just a basic calendar of, maybe you have some things coming up, some events, maybe you're doing Style Week, maybe you're going fabric shopping, maybe you're going to be working with a guest lecturer, maybe you'll be going to New York City for the day, and all those things can kind of translate into a blog post. So it might be helpful to create a calendar and start from there. It doesn't mean you always have to stick to it. Sometimes just key events, if you're going out for St. Patrick's Day, you can do a fun post on how to wear green fabulously without looking like a leprechaun, or something fun, someone's coming down the pike, what to wear, something other than a little black dress for Valentine's Day. So think about your general calendar and integrate it into your usage. Another way to generate content is by being consistent with your weekly installments. So you can do a fashionable Friday, maybe a look that you saw street style, that you took a snap of that you love and why you love it. I don't think it's really nice to do a why you hate it. It's not very, although we all love that part, which magazine is Glamour, that we have the big black bar and we wore it. I do like that, I would do. Throwback Thursdays, maybe it's a piece of clothing that you wore, a terrible trend. I have way too many photos like that. I wouldn't share them, but some people do. A forgotten fashion trend. I think right here in URI there's some great archives within the textile department, so they do have some great pieces that may draw some inspiration. You know, when they've done historical exhibits, maybe why the corset was so fabulous, maybe why the corset was horrible from your point of view. Another way that weekly installments help is that it builds consistency and expectations. Your readers know that on Throwback Thursday you're always going to be putting up something really funny. It helps build an audience. They're going to want to come back and back. What are they putting up today? What's a funny trend that they're going to examine? There's so many. I mean, you could do a whole blog post on Cavaricci's, if anyone remembers those, big pants, skinny jeans, duck shoes, what comes back, what should be thrown out forever. Take your own original images. This is going to be really helpful to keep, again, original content is what really builds your audience. They're going to be looking for something that you have and nobody else does. So look at, use your own iPhone to take photos. If you are using other photos, make sure they're not copyrighted. It's very rare that people are taken all the way to court on this, but it is something to be respectful of the photographer, especially when we're all in a creative field. So I would definitely stay away from copyrighted images. There are great sources though, like Creative Commons. You'll get a lot of photos there. Another way to always have fresh content is to be a guest blogger on other blogs and invite other bloggers to yours. So maybe the first Monday of every month you exchange and do a blog post for somebody else. This is also a great way to exchange audiences, which will definitely boost your readership, which is something you want to do. And also they're gonna wanna share that. If you're guest blogging, you're gonna probably put out on your social network where you're gonna be blogging from and vice versa. The blogosphere is typically a very reciprocal industry. People are supportive of each other and they wanna share content, show that they're relevant, show that they also have a great rapport with other people in their field. So it's a really wonderful and strong way to kind of build a new readership. Growing your audience. Like I said, of course, integrate your social media accounts. It's really terrific to do that with consistent branding, to remind bloggers in the blog to sign up for your newsletter, sign up for your other social media accounts, make sure to follow other writers and people in your audience who you have had conversations with. Connect and engage with them. Sometimes it's fun if your focus is on fashion, if it's a red carpet, the Golden Globes event, to host a Twitter party, maybe even just for the red carpet, maybe from a period 7 to 8 o'clock. I did that recently with a few other style bloggers, and I think we did it for about a half hour, and by doing just a really quick analytical study, we reached more than 125,000 impressions. So people have opinions, and it doesn't mean that your opinion, of course, matters more than anybody else's, but it's a great time to have a conversation with people who enjoy the same field. I mean, who was the best dressed? Who was the worst dressed? Who went on the biggest limb? And it's in real time, so it makes it really exciting. And the second a starlet comes out of the limo, you have an impression. What is an impression? Did they look amazing? Were they groundbreaking? Did they take a risk? And it's just fun. So it's a great time to grow your audience and to exchange an audience and to have a voice. Work with people and vendors and designers that align with your blog's mission and audience. So again, this kind of goes to the point of working with other fashion bloggers or style. Maybe there's something within the lifestyle brand that's a good fit, but isn't exactly what you're doing. That might be a good way to grow your audience. Say, you're over 21, of course, and there's your favorite wine. That might be a good opportunity to put that on your blog, why you like it, why it's great for a night out, use it in an image, use it in what you're wearing that night, or how it reflects kind of your personal taste, why you love it. And again, host events with brands, retailers, and other bloggers. So a lot of times, even major retailers are looking to align with authentic voices. You can put a million ads out saying that you have the best winter boot, but it's until you have real reviews out there that people really kind of trust the real voices. There's a statistic about, even if you're looking at restaurants, are you going to be more likely to follow a few great Yelp reviews or look at an ad in the newspaper, which seems more transparent to you? And I think we know the answer to that. I've hosted events with a lot of different retailers. Rockport, for example, there was a winter festival in Newport, and Rockport contacted me, and I hosted a party at the store there, and they did wine and cheese and tastings, and they also did teasers of their spring line, so people that come could see what was coming down the pike. They also did an incentive, they did a discount that night, and it was a win-win. I grew my audience, and they were able to capitalize on mine. People came to the store, it generated a lot of interest, it generated a lot of chatter, and it was a great opportunity for the both of us. So again, just kind of keeping that brand throughout all of your channels. And you don't have to do everything that's out there. I don't do Pinterest, for example. To me, it's time consuming. It's not something that I have an opportunity to do as much. There's nothing wrong with it. But kind of sticking to Twitter and Instagram and Facebook is enough for me right now. But other people don't understand Twitter and love Pinterest, and that's fine. It's a great way to really kind of capitalize again on your skill set. So this is a great quote to my point about being authentic. There's never been a better time to blog. Social networks help build audiences and deliver content to readers, and more established blogs and websites often link to or aggregate smaller sites sending swarms of lead articles. Again, this is just kind of reiterating my point earlier to build your audience and look for original content. This is a great way to be inspired, to be challenged, is to join communities like independent fashion bloggers. This is just one of many out there. This is based in New York, but they have great content on their website. It's a voice for the fashion blogging community. They have very helpful pieces on growing your audience and what to do when you kind of hit a wall, how to get invites to fashion events and fashion shows, how to work with brands, how to pitch yourself to brands, how to get noticed in a blogosphere that's constantly growing. The IFB conference was recently, I didn't go this year, but I did go last year. They have some of the biggest bloggers out there. If you look on that little left-hand column, the invite, Man Repeller, Fashion Bomb Daily, On the Racks, these are all front row New York Fashion Week bloggers. It's been very interesting to watch. Even 5 years ago, bloggers were definitely on the periphery of fashion events. It was respected, but certainly not front row. And now some of the best bloggers out there are going to every show. They're being flown to London for Fashion Week in Paris, Milan, and they've been able to make a living out of fashion blogging. And most will tell you that was not their ultimate goal. So it's amazing to see where blogging can take you. Style Week in Providence, for example, does a great job of inviting media and bloggers to their events. It's been a wonderful way, personally, for me to meet other bloggers, to be inspired by them, to exchange audiences, to collaborate with brands. You know, even though the blogosphere is online, I think it's best to always meet in person whenever you can. You create friendships and networks, and also it's a great business contact. So again, considering your brand, businesses that blog, 55% more web visitors, 67% more leads. So for brands that are trying to get a voice out there and for trying to get original content and for media coverage, bloggers are becoming more and more what's the most important audience. They want to connect, they want you to be the voice of their brand, and to be authentic, because bloggers a lot of times don't hold back. They'll be the first to say if shoes that they tried were not waterproof and they said they were. If something was supposed to be one size fits all and very flattering and was just the opposite. Bloggers take to Twitter to complain about some of the things that maybe a brand promises, and it holds people accountable. It's certainly not a gotcha race, but it's just more of a chance to be authentic. Not everything that is advertised as being fantastic is in fact fantastic, as you know. So that's the base of the presentation today. As you can see, it's a very volatile world, it's a changing world, but blogging is a great opportunity to get your voice out there and to own the voice that you're going to have as you move forward. If you ever have any questions, I'll be able to share my email, of course, with directors. But does anyone have any questions today? Yes? It's, well, there's a lot of, it's feed burner. Anyone know what feed burner is? It's a Google, it's within, I'll talk to you about it's within the Google Plus world and the Google Advanced. My understanding is that it's like an RSS feed, but it's a distribution.
What do you think the future is for graduates of this program, for example, being social media people for larger companies that want somebody out there doing blogging for their store or for their brand?
There's a huge opportunity to do that, because as you translate your voice through a blog or even through your own social media, the things that are basic even in print journalism are still going to hold true for the digital world. Can you communicate well? How's your grammar? That's a big one. You can see that. What's your voice like? Are you mean? Are you snarky? Are you funny? There's people, as you know, tens of thousands of Twitter followers just because of their voice and their point of view. It engages with people, it makes them laugh. Particularly, so many brands are looking for younger people to do their social media, of course. Even if I had a doctorate in social media, I think I would still be much less desirable than someone that was your age and coming out of school, because it's just associated with a finger on the pulse industry. So it's a great way to get your foot in the door. Is through social media for companies. They're looking to grow that more and more. It's very important. Everything from smaller designers to kind of the big wigs. It's great to have a voice. It's great to do an internship and get experience. I have to say, internships I still assume they're very popular. But if you're not doing an internship, it's a missed opportunity to grow your Rolodex and to grow your contacts. I had, in my 9 to 5 life, I do media for City of Newport. And we had an intern this year who only did one day a week. He was doing it for non-credit. And he was just fabulous. You could tell he loved what he did. And he was from New Jersey. And I, been in the industry for a number of years, and I could highly recommend him to a friend at Ralph Lauren and Warby Parker and John Barbados. So, because he made an impression. He didn't have to be there. He wasn't getting credit. He came in 2 hours a week. He just wanted to get some business experience, and because he made an impression, he was clearly a good writer, and he was funny, and he was ambitious, and he really wanted to just sink his teeth into the social media world. And I don't know if he's in the last round of an internship interview for the city for the summer. So it's a great way to create your own voice, and it also works both ways. I know you've probably had a jillion professors tell you to be careful what you put on social media, and it's true. I had a friend, she was telling me about an intern potential intern, she was going between two, and on her personal Twitter had some horrible, horrible things to say, just horrible language, and she was like, ultimately this person's voice is going to be associated with our company, and I can't take that on. Doesn't mean you can't be funny and snarky and authentic, but you have to still be careful. It's unfortunate. I fought the personal professional line for so long. Your professional life was your professional life, and your personal life is your personal life. That's not the case anymore, and it's unfortunate, but as we were saying earlier, with 2 clicks you can find out a hell of a lot about a person, and people are going to ultimately form an opinion, and it happens, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. So it's just a matter of still being yourself, but maybe minding manners, being nice.
Do you think at first, because since it's a Newport style file, do you think at first that because it was geographically saying Newport, that it narrowed your readers at first at least?
Absolutely.
Before you kind of got big, like that, the name really because that would make me think, oh, it's
Just
all
Newport.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously when you investigate, it's a lot different than that, but did that kind of hurt your initial readership?
I was really concerned about that at first.